So how are we gonna do this intro?
Hi. Welcome to the podcast, my dude. I'm Sozenos.
Buenos dias, muchachos. I am Jish TV, otherwise known as V for Vanilla on here because Soul has an obsession with porn.
You forgot your name for a second.
I didn't forget my name, I just didn't know how I wanted to do this.
So, before me and Josh got a podcast, I told him one thing. The name of the podcast should be one of two things. A perfect description of the podcast that sounds good, or B, generic and as dumb as possible. So, to be as generic and dumb as possible, we have on the first episode, we're going to talk about what to name the podcast. So
Because we're bland and unoriginal like that.
we each got 25 names, or 26 in Josh's case, and we're going to switch off and try to decide a name. So, you go first, Josh.
Okay, well, I decided two hipsters, one podcast to kind of start out this and kind of flow into it. Because, I think it's fair to say that we're both kind of hipsters in our own weird ways. I mean, we both dress like complete hipsters.
Sure.
I actually acknowledge I'm a hipster, which in itself is kind of a paradox.
Do hipsters call themselves hipsters?
No, anytime you call a hipster, they'll be like, what are you saying? I'm not a hipster. I just have very fondness for mustaches and outdated records. Even though I can get the same thing on a CD that I can actually play in my car whilst driving down the street instead of on a record player that can't leave my house from the 1920s.
Okay.
But still, I kind of think we're both hipsters in a weird way, because we do share a lot of traits that hipsters have.
Like my villainous mustache?
Just like your hilarious villainous mustache that we all know you have stashed away in a drawer somewhere. Or how we both listen to this weird kind of hipster music. It's hard to define, but there's like a certain sound that all hipster music has.
Is it bass? It's just like, don't.
Not exactly. You remember the song You're Not Special?
You mean You're Not Precious?
Yeah, You're Not Precious. Well, a lot of them sound sort of like that, but not exactly.
Alright.
And, like, they have that kind of a beat going for it. I listen to a lot of music like that. One of my favorites being the Duality... Well, technically Duality, because they're two different songs. Being the songs Everyday Normal Guy, parts 1 and 2. I especially love both part 1 and 2, so there's that.
So, do you think Two Hipsters One Podcast should be the name? That's the question.
I think it would fit.
No, I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest.
Okay, well, let's see. You come up with another name.
The preface, I've looked through yours. You haven't looked through mine.
I've avoided his like the plague. That way I could just not have spoilers. Mainly because I wanted to have some back and forth.
I don't know. Spoilers never bothered me. But
spoilers bother me a lot.
The first name I have on here is the generic podcast on the right.
And why exactly did you choose this name?
Well, the generic podcast on the right is one, generic, which is true. And the reason it's the generic podcast on the right is because at the time I was listening to the last podcast on the left. So that's all the explanation I have for that.
I mean, it works, but at the same time... Because you're technically ripping off a name, so...
What? No. Just because I stole, was inspired.
Okay, so the next one that I got
So it's a delete?
Yeah, that's gonna be a delete. And So we're just gonna delete these as we go along down the list.
Yeah.
So my next name is two hipsters talk about, and then it's supposed to be a ... thing.
Ah.
So
Okay.
it's sort of kind of like how Dan Plan has the whole "Can you survive?"
By
and
the
then they
way.
insert
No, it's by
yeah,
the
it's
way.
like by the way, by the way, something. So it's sort of like that. However, it's more of two hipsters talk about because, as stated before, kind of think we're both hipsters, and every single episode
You're
we have,
pushing the hipster thing.
I'm gonna push that into the ground. Oh, but I'm just like, chances are we'll be rambling for the entire hour for each episode, so there's that.
We tend to go on tangents. By
A
the
lot
way,
of tangents.
did you know like the guys at Danplan like have their own channels?
Didn't know that. I also didn't know Hosa was a guy. So
Really?
there's that. Yeah, I kind of thought Hosa was a girl. Is that bad?
I mean, whatever you're into, my dude.
No, like, I genuinely thought he was a girl.
Anyways, my
Feel
second,
betrayed, Dan! Betrayed, Steven!
Steven and Jay are my favorites.
I'm gonna be honest, Steven's always fun to watch his antics. However, I do like that one girl that in the Mafia episode she gets executed and her last words are, "It's tea time."
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of someone I know, which is slightly terrifying.
Anyways, the
Back
second
on
name,
topic.
the second name I have on my list is
We haven't decided on whether to delete mine or not.
Oh,
Yeah. So
It's got
two hipsters
hipsters in it.
talk about.
it's got
So-
hipsters, and I don't like hipsters because I'm totally not hipster, so delete it.
I was agreeing with one of your names and then no. Okay,
Okay.
give
The
us your
second
name.
one, I don't expect us to agree on more than 3, to be honest. It's just, I don't.
Yeah, probably.
The second name I have is Terrifically Terrible.
I mean, I don't really like it, but let me hear your reasoning for it.
I didn't have one.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it, so off with its head.
Yeet.
Okay, so my next idea was Devil May Podcast. Mainly because we're both fans of Devil May Cry, I would say.
That's a way to put it.
And, we're doing a podcast. So take out Cry from Devil May Cry and it's Devil May Podcast.
Hmm.
And it limits our range on stuff we can talk about, but it's something.
Yeah, that's a very limit. Because, like, I've listened to you ramble on about Devil May Cry, but, like, can you imagine, like, talking for an hour about, like, a game and that's it? I don't think
I
could
can manage that with Devil May Cry
Yeah,
for
I don't think I
several hours.
even
You've
if it's something,
listened.
even if it's something like myself, like something like Kingdom Hearts, I could probably do it for like an hour, but like think of like succeeding episodes. I'm gonna get tired of talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I'll probably start repeating myself. So that's a no from me.
Okay, so you're just gonna
That's too
say no to
specific.
that. Okay, that is fair. Next!
Okay, the number 3 one I have is Just Typical.
Do you have a reason?
See, why do you expect me to have all these deep reasonings?
Because you said we at least had to have some kind of a reason coupled with its genericism.
Well, like, it's just typical. Don't.
Though I feel like that should be followed by the Cops theme song.
Huh? I was
Oh,
thinking-
it's like, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
So just typical's a no.
Yeah, that's gonna be a James veto from me.
Alright.
In case you all are wondering, I have a secret alias of James Vito. It's a combination of my two favorite names. James and Vito.
Yeah. Wow, I wouldn't have figured that out.
But now it's on the internet for everyone to see. Okay, so my next one was KingCast, because we're both members of the Kings of Kings.
Yeah,
and
4,000th channel with the same name.
that is fair, but it's kind of a generic name because, you know, KingCast. We had KingCraft back in the day. So this is the unadulterated sequel that no one wants to acknowledge. KingCast.
What number of podcasts do you think just like put cast in the name? What do you think?
There's probably a fair amount.
I want to say like what, at least 40% of all podcasts?
Probably. So the name is generic enough to work. I say we should probably go with it. What do you think?
It's not the worst name you have, I'll say that. But I don't like it just because it gives me flashbacks of KingCraft, and that was that's some cringe.
Okay, next.
Okay, my number 4 is Z99. My reasoning for this is that when something's the best, it's A1. So Z99 is the worst of the worst.
How bad do you expect this podcast to normally be, consistently at least?
I don't know. I don't got my hopes in them. See, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Okay, I'm gonna say no to that.
Okay. Get yeeted.
Get yeeted and deleted. Okay, so my next name was A Podcast Fit for a King.
I feel like that should be taken, right?
I mean, I don't think it's taken because you did go over my names to make sure none of them were taken a while ago when you
I
didn't
did.
see A Podcast Fit for a King, or else you would have deleted it like I told you to.
There's still a chance that it exists, and I just didn't see it.
There's still like a small chance, but it's a thing. I like it.
Yeah.
So let's say let's keep it.
Okay, let's keep it.
Hooray, one of my ideas sticks.
Yeah, it's gonna be the only one.
Probably.
No. My number 5 is Echo in the Brain.
I echo in the brain.
Because, okay, yeah, like podcast has been one of those things for me that I always wanted to at least try it. So it's an echo in the brain.
Thought
Also,
you were gonna go an entirely different route with that, really.
what did you think I was gonna say?
Something similar to Pinky in the Brain.
Like, no, I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, I can't imagine how someone could get that confused.
One of them's a genius, the other one's insane.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I'm the one in college.
Ah, so you're insane. So, Echo in the Brain? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no, but at the same time, the only reason I say no is you spoiled our season 4 plot twist where it's revealed that I'm the insane one, not you.
Ah,
Spoiling our season 4 plot twist of a show that we can't even name yet. I just got a notification sound, and it rang in my ears.
audio quality's top notch.
It's nice.
So,
Okay.
carry on.
What?
Carry on.
Okay, so the next name I chose was Generic Podcast 42,069. I think the names. Nice. No, it's
Yeah.
42,069.
It's 42069. Shut up.
Yeah, that's how it's written out, and it's great. One might even say it's nice.
I'm a James veto that.
How dare you steal my catchphrase?
I made that catchphrase. What you mean?
Shut up, soul! Just accept this as a thing.
Okay. Now, number 6. Everything stays.
What?
It's Everything Stays. My favorite song from Adventure Time.
Come on, craft your friends. We'll go to very distant lands. Jack the dog and Finn the human. The fun will always end. It's adventure time.
That's how that goes.
That is exactly how that goes because everyone is dead. Right? Isn't that how Adventure Time ended? Everyone died? Or was that regular show?
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Adventure Time gets dark apparently, and I didn't
Oh,
stick
it
around
does.
to see that.
I really liked Adventure Time, at least compared to other cartoons. If you look at like other cartoons that came out at the time, like say Gumball, Gumball's just all silliness. It's funny, but Adventure Time tells a story, and it's a lot closer to real life. There are good times and there are bad times, and you're just going to have to deal with that. It's not everything silly all the time. That's what I think made Adventure Time stand out amongst the other cartoons.
I'm gonna be honest, there was one cartoon that I really liked because it felt like it had some emotional weight to it when I was a kid and was watching it. And as an adult, I one day went back and watched it and I was like, this has physically consequences worse than dying.
Is it Thomas the Tank Engine?
No. Thomas the Tank Engine got dark occasionally. No. Yu-Gi-Oh! Straight up,
Oh,
you got sent to a place worse than the flaming pits of hell.
I don't know. Shadow Realm seems pretty cozy.
I mean, it's more of a purple realm.
I actually
but even
have.
still.
I actually have my vacation home in the Shadow Realm. Merritt keeps it, like he keeps it clean and stuff.
I mean, they had consequences worse than dying. I thought that was like, oh my god.
You want to know why I didn't immediately guess Yu-Gi-Oh?
Because I watch a lot of different cartoons, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is technically not a cartoon, it's an anime that was adapted into a cartoon by 4Kids.
Yeah, I never think Yu-Gi-Oh and cartoon in the same mind space.
I used to always think, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's a cartoon.
Yeah.
The original is really freaking dark.
Yeah.
Especially if you go back before the 4Kids
You
adaptation.
remember the dragon penis?
Hey, fun fact. When I was watching 4Kids on, CW 4Kids, they never aired the dragon penis. They didn't make it to the second half of Battle City. Not even the second half of the second season. They would never air it. Well,
So
actually...
everything stays. I'm guessing that's a no.
Now that's gonna be a no from me.
Okay.
Brings up sore memories of an 8-year-old Josh.
But it's the best Adventure Time song.
Just can it. Okay, so my next name is Podcast 69420. This is much like the generic podcast that I suggested, except this has 69 in front of 420.
Get that shit out of here.
It's a great name.
Anyways, number 7. It's cool because it's meta.
Okay, so I know I'm gonna sound like a gigantic hypocrite here because just the way I write things. Just because it's meta and self-aware does not mean it's funny.
Give me a meta thing that isn't funny.
Hey, the confessionals in Total Drama Island. Half of them aren't even funny.
I don't know. That's. I'm gonna give that to you because I don't actually remember them too much. I'm gonna give it. But
Don't remember them too much, but I do remember there were a lot of them that just weren't funny, and it left you thinking, okay, so when are these things being filmed? Is this like after the challenge or like during the challenge?
I feel like a lot of jokes you just probably didn't get because you were a kid.
To be fair, I was like in 5th grade when I watched it, so
I'm
there's
just-
that.
If I ever go back and watch them, I was like, oh, I didn't get that joke then. So
Yeah.
like, there's probably a good amount of those.
No, but like there are some shows that I'll go back and be like, okay, wait a minute, I remember this. Like, okay, not to bring this back to Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's another great example.
I can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh all day. What do you mean?
I know, but this is just one of the examples. There's one episode that a clown attempts to saw Yugi's feet off for losing a game. As a kid, I remember them being actual saw blades that were going to straight up cut his legs off.
Ah,
In the 4Kids adaptation, they're weird laser saw blades that'll just send him to the Shadow Realm.
yeah.
Because as a kid, I used to think, oh, Shadow Realm is just this world's version of hell. No!
No, you see, hell's too humid. But like
just a tad bit.
the Shadow Realm, like it's got like that nice of like it's kind of hot, but you got a fan on you, kind of level of hot and cold. It's very cozy, actually.
But you also get the whole Yoshikage Kira void for you when it like sucks you into it, and, you know, after taking you out of the hourglass and attempting to murder you via sand.
Fucking hate sand.
Soul, knowing your luck, you're going to lose a game to Merrick and just have the My Death arc. Except she doesn't actually die. You will just drown in the sand because I'm terrible at games of any kind.
Yeah. So it's cool because it's meta. There's actually another meta statement because it's not cool. So, is that a no on your part?
I must say no.
Okay. Took pity on your king, podcast for King earlier, but see how it is.
You've had no mercy on literally anything else I've suggested.
Shut up. Okay.
Okay, so my next one is conspiracies and other weird shit.
How often will we talk about conspiracies?
Now, I imagine we could talk about them quite a lot because I'm a big fan of conspiracy theories because I really enjoy like studying them, digging into them, and like poking holes in a lot of them.
And I own 24 tinfoil hats.
That could also be that. I mean, I think conspiracies and other weird shit would just fit more in with like a singular episode rather than just the title of the actual podcast. So I'm gonna say no to that.
Like, I have to say no too, but like, it's not like the worst one because like, if you look at like Devil May Podcast, that's like way overly specific.
This one,
it's more general and could work, but like, there would be some outliers, right? Because like, knowing me, I'll talk about anime, and I don't really consider that weird shit unless it's a specific anime.
You see, that's just weeb shit.
Weeb shit.
Hey, you know, it might work for episode 2. Who knows?
All right. Let's get episode 1 done first.
I know. I'm just trying to pull the Marvel tease, like in the middle of an episode. Like, who knows what could happen?
Yep, issues. Anyways, 97% incomplete.
Are we incomplete? This is a straight up duo, my boy.
The
We
reason I
got
said,
this.
okay, like personally, when I ever tried to do a project that takes longer than a couple days to do, I'll just abandon it, to be honest.
He says as he spent weeks on a super secret project that no one will probably ever see.
I'm actually confused. What are you talking about?
And games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, so as far as 97% incomplete goes, I must say I like it, but I don't think it works.
The reason, okay, I have conflicting feeling on it as well. I think it sounds cool because it's like 97 incomplete, and it's like, what's incomplete? You know, it sort of makes you like wonder about it, but at the same time, it also kind of makes it seem like the podcast is incomplete.
Like we're missing.
Like
I
we
mean-
have 3 episodes, and the other 97 are lost to time.
Exactly, we just stopped this on the 3rd episode. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna say
That's a
no
no.
to that.
Okay.
Okay, so my next one is one of the greatest memes ever devised.
Uh huh.
It's Big Brain Time. Because it's Big Brain Time. Come on, grab your friends. We'll go to
Aye.
very nearby lands.
Shut up, Josh. I
Soul the dog and Jesh the TV. The fun will always end. It's Big Brain Time.
I guess I am Jake in that scenario because I'm the amount of fucks Jake does not give when something happens is just so me.
Exactly. Also, you're yellow. So,
Jake is orange though, or blue in the later seasons.
wait a minute. I always thought Jake was yellow because my TV's coloring was like a small bit off.
I'm pretty sure he's orange, and he's blue in the later seasons.
But 1 second, I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake E. Doge. Okay, so he looks like an orangish yellow to me, but he looks more yellow than he does orange.
Have you seen his blue form?
I'll look it up. Okay, Jake the dog, Super Saiyan Blue. Oh my god, what in Jesus Christ's name?
What do you mean? That's his true form.
Oh god, it's terrifying. What?
That's
Why?
his true form.
Oh god, oh no, that is a cursed image in my mind. Ah!
So I'm gonna say no to Big Brain Time.
Why would you say no to Big Brain Time? What's not to love about it?
Because I know every episode you'll go, it's Big Bang Time. Go grab your food. You'll do that.
Oh,
every
come on.
episode.
That would just have to be the intro recording. And it would be great.
Okay. So moving on to mine.
Do I have to delete it or no? Because I actually do really like that one.
Yeah, delete it.
This makes me saddened. Saddening. Okay, next.
So I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this, but I believe it's Kitschk. It's a I'm thinking it's German, but actually let me check that.
The German word for podcast.
Okay, maybe it's not. It just sounds German. Essentially, Kitschk. Let me look at the pronunciation. How do I pronounce
Butchering
that?
this word, I guarantee it.
How do I pronounce that? I knew it when I wrote it down. Okay, it's just Keech. But it's not spelled like
Ichi
Keech.
kichi goo!
Keech is a word that means basically so bad it's good.
Gotta give that one points. It is very creative. So I'm gonna say yeah, keep it.
Yeah, I got
However-
one.
It sort of makes us sound like we're using a different language. I don't know if that's even English.
I believe it's English. It's just one of those words that no one fucking uses because, like, you know, there are words like I don't know. You're not gonna say something's preclusive when you could just say it's impossible, right? Means the same thing, but like, who's gonna say preclusive? Except me in a diss track.
Or, English graduate students that want to flaunt their degree even though it's completely useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I wouldn't know anything about that because I'm getting a teaching degree. Haha.
Okay, give me yours.
Okay, my next one is therapy.
I'm just gonna say no.
Why would you say no? All we do is talk about our problems to each other.
I got 99 problems, but just ain't one.
Okay, I'll delete that, but can I say my next one?
That's my turn, bro.
No, but I got 26. I gotta get even with you.
Fine.
Okay, so my next one is... No!
Yeah, that's a yikes forever for me.
No!
Yeah, get it all out of your system.
No!
You good?
Good, man.
Okay.
I just really
So-
needed to do that.
My next one is the common drop. You know, like how like in games, like your enemy drop shit with the common drop.
I really don't like that. I mean, it is very generic sounding, but I don't like it. Something about it just doesn't really jive with me.
What if I made it the uncommon drop?
Well, then we're only slightly better than average, and no one bothers to pick us up. I at least pick up common drops in Fortnite now because you rarely ever see a common drop.
Don't talk about Fortnite. We don't do that here.
Oh, my apologies. Would you rather me reference Apex Legends, a game which I actually still haven't played yet? I should do that at
You
a
know,
stream one
you
time.
could just say like basically any game.
No. I gotta be culturally relevant with the kids these days because now that
Okay.
I'm in college,
Being culturally
I clearly
relevant.
have to fall
World of
completely out of
Warcraft.
touch with kids. and-
World of Warcraft.
A World of Warcraft actually appeals to people's nostalgia, and people like World of Warcraft like they like Minecraft, which I also
mean,
can't reference because
I
it's too new age.
feel like Minecraft, like, if I'm looking at like WoW, I don't like it. But like with Minecraft, if I see a mod, that looks cool. Or like sometimes I get the urge to go build something. But World of Warcraft just doesn't seem fun to me.
World of Warcraft seems like it would have been fun to me if I had gotten on it during its heyday, but I didn't, so I don't understand the appeal.
You're the kind of guy that's like, I want Wizard 101.
Don't talk about Wizard 101, okay?
What
We
about
don't
Fusion
talk
Fall?
about that.
What about Fusion Fall? Do you remember that?
Don't remember Fusion Fall, but I do remember Wizard 101, and I remember I played it one time. It was on my sister's graduation from high school. It was my big sister. I remember playing it that one singular time, and my computer lagged like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had a very heavy set desktop. It was bad.
Give me your next one.
Venon.
That's a no.
Come on, what's wrong with Venon? It's like our
It's-
nicknames combined.
Can that be Ventos? But you're going with Xenon instead of Xenos, right?
I'm going with Venon because
Like you're combining Vito with Xenon. instead of Xenos.
Because 90% of the time, you fall more in the Xenon category than you do the Xenos category. So, BAM!
Nah. Okay, my number 11. Now this is a generic name. The Leviathan Show.
Ooh. I think I have one better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say keep that one in the wings. That's a bit of a maybe from me.
Okay, give me yours.
Murder Time Fun Time. Mainly because I thought we were going to be playing video games over these podcasts, and then the PS4 thing happened. So yeah, that's going to be a nope.
Yeah, I can't imagine, like, holding a controller going clack, clack, clack. Is that like a reference to, that cat dude in Saints Row?
Yes, it is, because that is the catchphrase to the Genki Bowl games. Murder Time Fun Time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me.
I've already kind of exited it out because now the name is kind of pointless and obsolete. Next!
I got another stupid name. Planet Ventos.
Ah! Ooh! That's gonna be a nope!
Okay, I didn't like that name either.
Okay, so you're probably not gonna like my next one. X and V. Because Xenos and Vito.
No. Names don't really... Xenos
Okay,
and
so I've gotta exit out my next two picks then.
Okay.
Hell, I kinda came to this a little unprepared.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Well, give me your next two.
I
We
will
will
press...
decide their fate.
There are some names I just wrote down that, like, I know this won't be it, but I just wrote it down anyway. My Podcast Academia.
No! Because I don't watch My Hero Academia.
You know, 4 seasons coming out in like a couple weeks.
Still not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I knew it wouldn't get picked, but, like, it came to my mind.
Okay, let's see what you got next.
Are you not gonna go?
No, because I had to delete my last two picks, so this is getting you caught up.
Oh. What the Podcast? That's...
I'm sorry, what?
It's What the Podcast, an exclamation point and a question mark.
No! We are not those guys!
What the Podcast?
No!
Okay.
Okay, so my next idea was Jesh and Soul.
No.
15. Why does Soul keep rejecting all my ideas? The answer may surprise you. He actually just does not like me. Yet we still maintain to be friends because I refuse to let our friendship die.
You say as we haven't talked in 8 days.
Shut your mouth, Soul!
Okay, so my
Do
turn.
not make me drive my car into your house.
Do it. I fucking dare you.
Come on.
Yeah.
I got the keys.
Try getting up this hill, bitch.
That is true. That hill is way too steep for my car. Okay, next.
You can tell I'm running out of ideas because I'm putting podcast in the name.
Yeah. You rejected my idea for having cast in the name.
Okay, it's Don't Touch My Podcast.
Oh.
But Don't Touch My Podcast.
Oh.
Okay, so it's...
Podcast is not lady junk.
Fetus, Sheetus, Deletus.
Okay, so my next one is... This is one I know that's probably not going to get picked, but retro reference, because we constantly reference things that are really, really old.
I guess.
I mean, we do, so... A or nay?
What?
A or nay?
Oh, we.
Want to keep it or delete it?
What is it?
Retro reference, because we constantly make outdated references.
Huh. Retro reference. I kind of like it.
I get to keep another one?
Yeah, I kind of like it. Did you check to see if it was taken?
Yeah, I didn't see that it was.
Okay.
Okay.
So my next one is Dude with my podcast.
My God, you're referencing Dude, Where's My Car?
What do you mean? That's the greatest movie of its generation. What you mean?
Dole, you make me want to drive a nail into my eye. You realize that?
Is it a 9-inch nail?
Swear to God!
Uh,
Okay, that's gonna be a no from me.
okay. Hey, Future Soul here. So the rest of the podcast got cut off in audio recording error. We were using the Discord bot Craig, which, as it turns out, isn't that reliable for recording our Discord calls, since me and Josh can't really record in the same room. That's about it. I guess half of the podcast got cut off. All you need to know is we started on the name Beneath the Mask, which, now I think about it, you would know since you can read the title, and I made the art and stuff after this. But, anyways, the second half it kind of sucks because the second half, in my opinion, was a lot more entertaining. So, I didn't really want this, but at the same time, like, a recording error in the first episode is a very generic podcast thing to happen. So it kind of works out. But anyways, that'll be it.